The vehicle record doesn't show my. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the hard work is started.
Others are all right. That's what you do. Here.
Sorry, yeah. All right, we'll go with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
And also bring food, that's
Very.
don't get a little cranky here about now. I did not everyone's card. I did, so if you haven't been here for a couple months, I don't have a card for you, probably from the last two. Want to throw it in, but I'm pretty sure I got everybody, pay list. I mean, you want to take each other? All right, she should be in there, I did see us. You know, that's for the giveaways. How about some gratitude? Let's get, and then we have a smaller group. Let's get 5 pieces of gratitude. I'll start. I appreciate everybody at KW Keystone because we bounced back from a very challenging February. It wasn't great, but we're gonna go over some amazing numbers done by all of you as to our bounce back. Spring market's definitely here. We saw some record numbers that we haven't probably seen for at least a year, maybe even a little bit more, depending on where it was. It's pretty impressive, so we have a lot to celebrate with that when we get to it. But I appreciate you guys. Anyone else? Yes.
I have
Ashley.
one. So I got licensed in Maryland like a couple months ago and have been working a couple deals over there. Ashley Brem has been helping me out a ton because none of the people on my team are licensed in Maryland. So super thankful for her to just kind of like take a look at my documents and let me know, hey, you forgot about this one because there's a million pieces of paperwork.
Maryland, is there-
So Ashley, I hope she's watching. Thank you.
And you just had did you first settle it last month or 2 months ago?
February, we had 2. Yeah.
Welcome back to the office meetings.
Yeah.
I know it's a trip from Gettysburg, so I appreciate you coming.
Happy to be here.
Who else? Hi, Karen. There he is.
All right, so I'm giving Ryan and certificate of appreciation for Bruce for Brains Hanover. There's a little letter. We'll get a picture afterwards.
I'm gonna disappear. No, thank you.
So we're $800.
This is for all.
This is
This is gonna be Keystone.
And in 6 months, we're $800 shy of 10,000.
You wanna just pitch, get on 30 seconds?
Okay, so Bruce for Brains is a fundraiser I created. It's actually called Brainwaves now because we lost a couple of sponsors to the work. My son, next month will be a 3-year brain cancer survivor, glioblastoma, of which a single-digit percentage lived for 6 months. And I just figured I'd do it one day. A buddy of mine, Andy Berryman from Union Mortgage, is a very good friend. We created this. Our first event, we raised $2,300. This event, I'm already past the $6,000 mark, but I'm trying to get as much as I can. And, you know, it's a fun time. And, you know, Ryan sponsored, Hometown sponsored. You can go online and you can donate money, but it goes to the National Brain Tumor Society. And think about it, your own child possibly dying before you. It's not a fun thing to have. So that's what we do.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's get 2 more. Nothing great happened in the last 30 days.
I have a shout out for Andrew and his team. Thank you for always being available and patient and super patient and working with everybody and getting stuff done.
Andrew looked up like, what I do? One more.
I can piggyback off of Andrew. I have a client who like just didn't know they had plenty of money, but didn't know how they wanted to go about it. I was like, you need to finally call a lender. And Andrew called me and he's like, it just is what it is. Like, I'm not the best situation for them. I can write something up, like if they want to go that route. It's always nice when he's willing to kind of take a step back and be like, I'm not best for you. You need to go this direction. So I always appreciate that candor.
We were just talking this morning. I think it's been 12 years I've worked with you and you've never not gotten a deal that you've approved to settlement. So definitely appreciate, everyone has their great lenders, but Andrew's one of many of ours and he's awesome. He has some good things to share later. All right, Mike, it's your time to shine. Go ahead.
Win-win or no deal.
Integrity, do the right thing.
Customers always come first.
You don't have to do all of them.
Commitment in all things.
Do all of them.
Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together makes the dream work. Together. Starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success. Results through. Read, Michael.
All right, so which one stands out to you? Which one do you like?
Today.
Today. I don't know. Communication, seek first to understand. I think communication's everything. Understanding what people want, need.
Yeah, besides everything as well. So definitely a good one. He's a great belief system. We talk about them every month. Implement them into your personal and professional life. All right, state of the company. Our numbers finally worked for the month. Remember last month, we went through a little bit of a transition with our back-end systems. Unfortunately, we were missing some categories. They figured it out. Phil's here with his Phil. So let's just go through them again. These are starting to talk about our big numbers of our months. So we're back up into that mid 100s. We haven't seen that in a while. We were like low 100s for closing at 148. That actually puts us at 372 for the year. But the big ones are the closed sales volume. We did basically in 1 month what we did in 2. At $49 million in closed volume. It's huge. 105 listings taken. That listing sold, I think, is all. Doesn't quite add up, but again, we'll work that system out. But listings sold volume, 21 million. So again, almost 50% of what we already did. Contracts written, that's our future business. So I'd like to see that number high, and that is higher than what we've seen last probably 4 to 6 months, really. So 146 contracts that were written by you guys. Look at that average sales price. $333,000. That's crazy. I don't know if we can sustain that, but it really brought up our year to date. Because if you remember before that, we were running right around the 240-ish mark, which is still above our average of like 220 by rate. Yeah. So that's great. And then finally, we hit over $1 million in closed commissions for income. So that's huge. I love to pay out over $1 million to you guys. We were very consistent, and we saw that little market shift. We were hitting right around that 750 plus mark, but we finally hit over $1 million. So great job. And okay, so we're gonna go switch over to this. James isn't here. I think his wife's having a surgery. But as you remember, we have I can't call it free. We have scholarships for real estate school. So I don't know why the free word can't be used, but scholarships. If you know anybody, some of you here have gone through it. But if you know anybody interested in real estate, we offer that. See myself or Mr. Reynolds, and we can get them signed up. Here is the QR code. If anybody wants it real quick, or the website, you can send them to that. And then you can also get the sponsorship credit for them. Did you want that?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Just yell at me up here moving along.
Thank you.
All right, and then next one. So we're a little bit light this month. I think he ended at around 13 last month for case score enrollments. His goal is 15 every month. Right now we're only at 2. So let's push. I know it's going into that spring market. Everyone's getting busy, sports, activities, beautiful weather, and no one's even thinking about having to work. But yeah, if you have anybody that you think would be interested, then let's get them signed up. Brandy, I think you wanted. I mean, career nights last, what is that? Is that the Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, last Tuesday, every month. The next one's the 23rd. If you know anyone that's interested, they don't want to really necessarily sign up for real estate school, but they are maybe interested in hearing more about it. We have career nights on the last Tuesday of every month, from 5 to 6, right here in this room. All right, and Brady, I'm gonna hear that to you next.
Okay, so James, I'm probably gonna screw this up, so bear with me, but James wanted me to let everyone know that. He started, I believe we're gonna do them twice a month. Don't hold me to that, cause again, I'm not sure.
May 11th.
Is that what it is?
That's what
Okay.
he told me, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. Yep. So basically, we're trying to do some more in-person Saturday morning training for the PC program. I'm not sure that he asked me to say this part, so if not, this is on me. He told me I could invite people, but
This is being recorded.
I know, well,
Just kidding.
yeah, it's not
Say whatever you want.
crazy, but I'm taking responsibility, James, if I'm wrong. We could use agents. If you are willing to give up a couple hours on a Saturday morning sometime and you have something you're particularly good at, maybe you have a great process for open houses or, you know, some great documents that help new agents keep things in line. We could use people to come share some knowledge with us. So if anybody is willing to do it, please, please, please reach out to James. So you can set up when to come in and help us learn some things. That's it.
That was perfect. Thank you.
It's
So,
recorded.
and to add, I just said that. So, yeah, so James' part is obviously helping everybody that's new to business, get into production, but a lot of times these new to business agents have other jobs. So his schedule is always trying to balance out with the other agents, how he can create the most value on their schedule. And it seems like this Saturday really worked. I believe like 80% of the students were there. And it sounded like it went really well. You guys did, what's that sticky note board called when you throw sticky note ideas up there? It's a word. But it sounded like you got a lot of good information as to come up with as to beneficial value that you guys can. What time does he usually do it on Saturdays?
So it depends. This one was at 11, but when we talked the other day, he talked about maybe adjusting it so we don't hit lunchtime all the time. So we might do it a little bit earlier, but again, if we have somebody coming, we can kind of just adjust it as we go. That's what we did for the next meeting. We just set it at
I
that.
think it's trial and error moving.
Yeah.
forward. It's
Yep.
Figure out what works for
Well, and again,
everybody.
if somebody's willing to come speak to us, we can change it by an hour or two if we need to,
Absolutely.
so, yeah.
Great, thank you. April birthdays, happy birthday to everybody from April. We have a smaller group. March was huge. I think half of our freaking agents were in March, but Julie in the back, Nicholas, he just had his birthday. Hey, you're so young 20s. My God. That's okay. On the tour, Wayne, happy birthday to you guys. Since we last met, we had two people that we lost before came back, Kristen and Joe. Those came back here to KW Keystone. They're finding out grass isn't always greener on the other side. All right, so Deuce. Some of these big numbers for a second. I want to go through the top board. So Kayla, 2.1 million in individual volume. It's crazy. And that's only 2 deals. 2 deals. That's and she had a kid. So that's another great thing. But how about that Lane Thrush guy? 16 million. I had to look it up. But Lane crushed it at 16 million. I have Lane as a team because he runs the office, but I think a lot of that was done on his own. That's a huge number. I think one of the deals was 7 million. Not quite sure. I need to research it too much, but that guy knocked it out. 7 million. That is a great name for you guys. Some of your stuff maybe comes in from other.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's a great job across the board, the number ones. As far as 2 in volume, again, our volume was really good for individuals. He had 1.3 for Petula, Mr. Burkheimer comes back on the board at 1.1. Mr. Josh Musser sitting over here, what are you, 4 months in?
Yeah.
Not to his real estate career, but since he's been here. But he was on a team, came over here as an individual and hits over $800,000, so congratulations. We got Paola over here running out the top 5, staying consistent at 797. For our teams, Liz, 6.9, it's really good, and that's a great month to come back from. Again, that our spring market is definitely here. Colby and Neil, Rick Keller team, and the Carter team rounds out your top 5. And then the same as far as the units, the only difference, Lori was able to make the top 5 in the units with 3. So let's give a round of applause. Congratulations. Oh, there he is. Loaded, Mr. Musser over there. I'm gonna call on you for a second.
Why?
Why? Well, because you took a chance, you left Iron Valley. Sorry, if there's any Iron Valley fans. Left Iron Valley, you're in the team, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people gravitate towards team. You took a chance to go out on your own. One, what did you learn out of that? Are you appreciative of it? Do you have any regrets? And what can you share with somebody who maybe looking to make an adjustment to their business?
So the biggest factor for my success is everybody in this room. I have come here.
What's up?
Their team and their team, you kind of feel, at least the team that I was on, you felt isolated to that team as far as the resource pool. Here, I can go down the hall and ask, a different person each day for advice or criticisms or different things like that to improve myself every day. And they're always willing to give that advice and not make you feel bad about whatever questions you may have. And that makes it very easy to then be successful. So
Very well put. I didn't write that for him. He wrote that up his head. That was.
He also has a personality where he'll do, to how many people need to have that go-getter personality, they don't, so that's a testament to you too, John.
You can't hear this a lot. This is your job. You're a real estate agent. Unless you're a full career, this is your job. Treat it as a 9 to 5 and you will get the results from it. This isn't a hobby. I know the last 2 days were really nice. This quickly goes because everyone's enjoying the day. Look, I left that too. Guilty of it, but you gotta buckle down and work and get the results from it. And then it says a lot to our culture. I mean, you guys are awesome in supporting each other. Josh has only been here for a few months. He actually, the first time he visited here outside of our grand opening was our pop-up. You came in, put it yourself into 60 KW agents on a rainy day. And I believe we made you feel welcome because 3 weeks later you came over in your first, then I think your first week you were at our holiday party. So then you had 120 drunk agents. So we've done a great job. Yeah, pretty stuff. Josh, thank you for sharing.
absolutely.
All right, so we got some upcoming events coming up. So we have goal setting. I'd love to see more support for Joe. We have about only 6 in here. Now, we did have a lot in Zoom. We had 15 in Zoom, but I'd like to get some more people in here. His goal setting workshop isn't just about real estate. Like he does go expand that into personal. Who was here? Brandy, you were here. Were you here for those last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to share on that with, like, any takeaways?
There was a lot, but no, not right this second, because you just called on me.
There's always more coaching now. Bring and broaden your thoughts onto how to not only, again, deal with real estate, but your personal life as well. So it's a great, you ready?
Yeah, they're right here.
You gonna go?
So I want to bring up the most uncomfortable thing that he said, because I think it is, although I won't do it yet, because I know how bad it's gonna be. What did he call it? It was the time where you reflect on your time.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it, but basically time audit, yeah. Which for anybody that doesn't know, it's every 15 to 30 minutes, you are supposed to write a detailed description of what you did with those past 15 to 30 minutes, meaning not just was on the phone, but was on the phone with my mom or was on the phone with XYZ client. And I think if you take 5 minutes to think about it, that's scary. Because if you're looking at it in 15-minute increments, we all spend way too much time on stuff that doesn't matter. So I think it's probably the most profound thing I took away to really think about, as scary as it is.
Yeah, it's, actually, I've heard of that tool before, and, if you're honest with yourself, you're gonna see how much time you waste doing things that you probably can be doing, especially if you're supposed to be working. So, that was a cool thing that he brought out, and, it'd be a useful tool for us all to self-reflect and see where are we spending the most of our time, and is it income producing activities during work hours? Or are we social media surfing, water cooler talking, hanging out? And I'm sure we're all guilty of doing those fun things, so. Yeah, so goal set, the next one is next Tuesday, 10:30 to 12. And then in our May, do I have that up there? So we just found out about it. Where is it? No, it's not up there yet. So May's training is gonna be David Hook's coming in on May 14th. We'll get stuff out, but he has a database touch system, 60 touch system. So for all of you that have a database, which hopefully you have at least 201 plus club. It's a great system. Usually you do 33 touch, but this is 60. So he breaks it down into what his techniques are, how often, what he says, scripting. So that's gonna be a great class coming in May, and I'm working on a second one, and that's gonna be database related or social media related in May as well. But Solo Agent Masteries next week. That's all on Zoom. We have our happy hour on the 25th. This is our first quarterly happy hour of the year. Little bit late out of the first quarter, but this is gonna be at Heritage Hills. So please mark your calendars for those that can make it, 5 to 7. And we have the last class of Value Squared. This is gonna be based on a lot of the NAR stuff. There's 4 classes on this. This is the last one. It's just really how to provide value for your clients as a buyer's agent to be able to confidently get the commission that you deserve. That's 1 to 5. That is on Zoom as well. All these go out to you the week before, and we send the calendar invites. That way you have all the links. So just be on the lookout for those in your calendar. Wealth Building Wednesday, every Wednesday. That's a KWRI class, also on Zoom. Are you doing any react? Either want to read or you want to talk about the multicultural potluck?
I already signed up. I don't know anything about it except for what was in the blurb. Hang out with your feet.
Sign up for food, bring it.
Just bring it.
And that's at Rayak. Okay. And then the food truck event. They have a food truck event on the 15th. And then Women's Mastermind retreat as well. Did anyone go to Women's Mastermind?
I think Nicole and Lori did.
So, that's something being done.
In Cape May.
This is the Cape May one. So what Brittany did last year at Ashkin Farms, Brittany Giles from Harrisburg, they're starting to expand that and make it more of a regional type of thing. So Brittany's getting one, I think, for the fall again for us locally. But if you're interested in going to spend a night time in Cape May, May 15th and 16th is a 2-day event. And then lastly, before our next meeting, we have our ALC meeting. We are pushing this to the 22nd. There's 5 Wednesdays next month. So trying to not overlap with like your food truck event or if anybody's going to the mastermind retreat. But we are going to push it to the 22nd. And we do have a coffee truck that's going to be on site for you guys, gourmet. It's on my grind. When the grind?
Yeah, he's my client.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should have called you then. Maybe you got a little hookup, but
Yeah.
you'll be here from 9 to 11. So come enjoy your coffee.
And other stuff too. And don't forget, it wasn't on the calendar, but don't forget, May 31st, continuing ed cycle, you need to renew your license. So that's why I think a lot of people weren't at Joe's class, because there were, 2 classes that ran. So make sure you get your 14 hours in.
45. Monday, and some of you are on. Yeah. We have continuing ed, and then also have, after continuing ed, you have to go on the PAL site and sign up and pay for the renewal of your license.
Have you done yours so we can do ours?
Yes, for Keystone ours. Yep, we are good to go.
I did mine before you.
Again, Joe's class, here's the flyer for it. That's the last one is next Tuesday, 10:30. Heritage Hills, we're gonna at the Avenue Ale House. That's our happy hour next Thursday, the 25th. Multicultural potluck at the rag office. And they also are doing the food truck event on the 15th. Who else is gonna be there? These are so many new food trucks coming out. I don't even know these people. Looks good. Oh, the golf outing. Okay, so for those that like to golf.
Or
And-
just to volunteer, I don't golf, but it is a fun day to volunteer because they let you, well, potentially drive the little trolley truck thingy around.
Pretty sure we did some whiskey shots too.
I wouldn't say drink and drive, you know, it is a fun day, even if you don't golf. There's lots of stuff for volunteers to do, so if you want to just come out.
How do you sign up to volunteer? With Rhea?
Just call Jacqueline or email Jacqueline. Cause we
Yeah,
always
great.
need help.
I'm no good at golf.
Cause. And that's very important. It supports our foundation, which assists with financing for their housing.
Title. Amanda was, oh, there she is. Amanda's back. South Korea for 2 weeks. Celebrating her granddaughter's birth. But yeah, that is now officially back, ready to do your title work, so. If you have any deals you wanna try Amanda out, she's right upstairs. Right here. And Mr. Harkins, he's got something good to cover today. We're talking about it. It's clarity, clarity. That's what we all need, right? Clarity.
I'm gonna hand out, so, pursuant to this lawsuit, right, what's going on? Fannie Mae put their announcement out on kind of the poise that they're taking currently. And basically, like, the gist of it is they are saying it's gonna be business as usual, but I feel like there's been some bad info online. Just from what I've seen from a couple people, couple posts that almost cast a light like things are gonna get better or more flexible. I think that, you know, basically you can read this for yourself, but kind of what they're saying is, in a nutshell, hey, we're gonna keep things the way they are. We're not really changing anything. We've always been flexible with interested party contributions. So basically what that means is, you know, like, you can get a certain percentage in closing cost assistance or interested party contributions. Oh, you guys are hanging back there. Sorry. Take that the other way. Okay. So when you think about a real estate transaction, that little box that says seller help, right, that we all really don't know much right now. Because we're in a full-blown seller's market, you look at this one sheet I passed out, there's interested party contribution limits. And what a lender looks at is what they call interested party contribution limits, is anything that would be an item of value, right? You specifically know it is that category where you mark 3% seller help, 6% seller help, 1% seller help, whatever that is. But it could be something like, hey, we're leaving a lawn tractor, right? Like, that's the thing about it. Okay, that's how they evaluate. Let's not get lost in that piece of it. But what they basically come out and said is, it's always been customary that real estate fees aren't part of the interested party contribution limits, okay? what they've said is they're not going to count them towards that 3%, 6%, 9% limit, right? Like whatever it is based on your down payment, so on and so forth. But they've left some narrative in there to say that they're gonna reevaluate as time persists, like they do with all lending guidelines. And they've also said, I think the one point that I would try to make is, I've seen some info on there that almost leads people to believe that like, you know, if you get a deal that you have a 3% max seller confidence limit on it, and you put in there to get your 3% buyer agent commission paid on top of that, like it almost represented like you could get 6% seller help in certain scenarios that like historically you've never been able to get that. So like, these are the limits based on LTVs and down payments. You can't deviate from that. You're not gonna be able to deviate from that with your commissions. Just kind of understand that. If you have questions about it, like let me know. And if your buyer needs closing cost assistance to cover your commission, like you're supposed to negotiate that with the seller, and you always have done kind of historically, you know. Questions about this? I know this is a little, lots, but this is their exact rate. Directly from them, like,
Yeah, so
like literally.
what's going on is you always see the individuals doing their own interpretation of what they do. And it's not always right. So it's good that if you have any questions, don't believe everything on these social media groups or what you see. If it doesn't sound right, please come to us, Andrew, from the financing side of things. Where again, things are still developing over the next, we still have 3 months, so this actually has to be implemented. And as we get more information, we're gonna continuously share this, but this was the latest thing that we saw that's starting to now get pushed out there. Some people were comprehending it correctly, some weren't, and then again, those ones that weren't, they of course go viral. So what we're trying to prevent is that you guys getting sucked into that vortex of negativity and freaking everybody out, including.
So depending on how this lawsuit goes down, we word our, commissions or compensations differently moving forward. Where we can say 2.5% to the buyer's agent, we have to say a percentage or a assist to the buyer, or however it's worded. If that says a 2.5% buyer assist make up for the commission that we would normally charge the buyer, is that going to put to work?
So you're saying if you write it in as a seller contribution to cover?
Well, depending on how they write it, if it,
Because the seller contribution line is clear on the contract. I mean, there is no deviation from that. It's saying like it either is or it isn't. But what you choose to use to cover it is essentially you're adding a cost and adding a credit, right? It's one or the other. There's no like manipulating that piece of it. It's either a cost or a credit.
but if the contract says 2% seller or buyer, or 2% assist the buyer to compensate the buyer's commission for the buyer's agent, how's that gonna come across?
For lenders, like, if you already have met the limitation, it's in addition to.
Figure it out. It's actually a good book that I'm gonna give out that you can segue off of that.
It's different than if you wrote like something like cover. Yeah.
You don't wanna talk to him? That's good. You sure? That's good. Sound like you had something important to say.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
You know, not clear.
Any questions for Andrew with the lending side of things?
Rates are up, they'll come back down.
You keep saying that. Belinda, can you hear me? Forgot one thing. Thank you. Belinda. All right, you're on mute still. I see her on there.
Hi, I'm here.
We can't hear it, all choppy.
Yeah, kind of, but you just said it's, they can't hear the Wi-Fi.
The one? The one big event I forgot to mention is Red Day. Red Day is May 9th. It's coming up. quick.
Oh, wow.
So we mark that down. We need to get a discount. So Linda, I hope you're a little bit, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Get some there for the. But May 9th, we're gonna have to get a signer to see if it's going. Because I need to make, we have 3 spots. Right now, you have 2 with servant. Everything's outdoor. Solid, I gotta talk about this real quick. So 2 are placed with servants. Another one is I believe it's somewhere in town, women's and men's shelter. Where they have stuff for us to do. They're all outside, so hopefully the weather cooperates. Worst case, we are working on a possible plan B with Habitat for Humanity if we have to go indoors. So I'm trying to do that. Yeah, but I don't trust a lot of you with cameras. So. So I think we've been having a total of 60 some between all of our areas. Gettysburg's doing their own thing. Chambersburg does their own thing. So for York, we're just gonna, if you guys want to volunteer for that, probably gonna need around 50-ish minimum out of those 3 spots, total, not each. So I think we're working around like 9 o'clock right now. I have a lot more information to be provided to you guys over the next 2 weeks. But Belinda's been working amongst moving and some health concerns. She's doing okay, but she is on the call. But she's been working at this and making sure that we have a good spot for Ed Day. The township was great the last 2 years, but it's time for something a little bit different. And we're gonna go more of a wider range of the community. Any questions for Red Day? At this point, we'll have a lot of flyers. Your social media and emails will be filled with updates, so please keep a lookup on that. We are gonna create a sign-in sheet, maybe a punch bowl. Probably do the punch bowl again, seems to be the easiest way. Please sign up if you intend to come, and then we'll divide you guys up. I assume most of your group will come again.
Yeah, if we can utilize the control, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll probably just get, unless you do a plus whatever. Liz plus 10. Okay, I'll have to try to get emails. We'll probably have to get some emails from you as far as, like, if you have like, some of your contractors and stuff pitching in. But, because we don't have everybody. So any questions on that before we move on? Mr. got that. Nope, good. All right, man of the hour. Mr. Edwin. Let's get around, well, this guy's. I have to do this today. How many people have used Edwin? The room's getting bigger.
Getting bigger.
Getting bigger.
I like it. How's everyone doing? Time for the spring market. I didn't plan for how I was gonna do it, so let's see. But yeah, so I already see that the market is picking up because before I can even post the properties, they're already under contract. So that's awesome. This is a house I did for Belinda. It's in the Brittany's. It's active. Beautiful home. If you have a buyer for it, definitely reach out to her. We need a serious buyer for that. So getting into it, my business is Renham Photography, and Renham stands for real estate and more. So just a little bit about Renham Photography. In Q1, just me alone, because it's just me in the business, I did over 100 shoots. So that's awesome. And a third of it came from KW. So I appreciate all the support. This is everyone that supported the business so far. There's a few extras and looking to double that number in Q2. So keep me in mind. So the reason why the business has been growing so fast, I don't think it's just because of the 50% off offer that I have. It's the attention to detail that I do. I just pay attention. If I can move certain items, I'll do it. Over the spring, I always like to add something extra to the shoots. Occasionally, so it could be a twilight, a floor plan, or some extra drone shots. And then lastly is prioritizing relationships so that we can grow our businesses together. So jumping straight into it. So these are screenshots from what the order page is going to look like. So right over here, you're going to see that there's the coupon. So if it's your first shoot, you get 50% off, code is right there. And then I have 3 packages that you can select from. So we have base, pro, and plus. The base is good for properties 2,000 square feet and less. Right, you can do it for a bigger property, but for 2,000 square feet less, 25 photos, floor plan, and drone shots. The pro is just a little bit more photos, and then the plus is gonna add a video, social media video to it. And then the packages are already discounted 10% plus on there, and then you can get the coupon code as well, so it's a 60% discount on your first shoot. Now, let's say you don't need a full package, you just want photos and a virtual twilight, I'm getting that a lot. Here, you can select the photos that you would like, and then it's gonna take you to an add-on screen, and then you can select from the add-ons. So the add-ons are gonna look like this, this is a screenshot as well, so. Did I go too fast? Okay, so we have drone shots, we have the walkthroughs. Zillow tours, there we go. And the virtual twilights, you can select that, 10 extra photos, grass repair, and then the floor plans. The floor plans come with color inside of it. I don't know if you can see it that well, but there's orange to highlight the rooms, beige for living spaces, and blue for wet areas. And then we do virtual stagings as well. So at 3 and 5, if you need more, you can always just let me know. So here's an example of the virtual staging we did. Right here, you can see the living room, which is really cool. And this is awesome too, because the living room is in there, but then we have the dining room and the primary bedroom. So I thought that came out really cool. I've been doing a lot of those lately. This is grass repair, so you can see the before and after. You can see everything's gonna perform a little bit better. And so I send both photos to you so that you can have it, but you can at least post the befores in there if you want to. And then this is a virtual twilight. This is Martha's listing. I think it's still active, is it? No, other contract, that's list out. So this is a virtual twilight I did. This is the front and the back. And it was really cool because with the back, I added lights into the pool. And if you can see the screen and porch, there's lights as well in there, so this makes it look really real and awesome. Okay, so video services, there's 2 main video services that I offer. It's a 60-second social media reel, and then also 120 seconds, so 2-minute video of the property. And then if you want to add an agent intro, drone shots, you can select that as an add-on. So we got a video sample. Do we have music here?
I don't know. We're just gonna wing it.
Yeah, wing it, there we go. So this is an example of a property I did for Kate. It had music, so it was upbeat. It's all good.
Sing it.
But there we go, it highlights all the rooms. It sounds better with the music as well too. Going in
Did
there.
you write the music?
Not me singing in there. There we go, shows the back. That's good. Dang, I wasn't doing it. Okay. But there's 2 different ways that you can go about posting it. So with every video, you can use it 6 different ways. You can post it on your feed, your story, other social medias, Facebook Marketplace, right MLS, and your business page. That's the free option, and then there's a paid option. And your business page, and you're gonna show you the results an agent got on the marketplace. So one of my buddies, he listed it, he did a little promotion, he got 14,000 clicks in his listing, 228 links saves, and 25 shares. And they're all the people seeing him. Not bad.
And how much is that roughly?
And you can do whatever you like, I just think $5 a day
Okay.
or a week, and you see how it performs. And then that's the craziest one I've seen. Another person also got like 5,000. But this is better. Okay, so we're getting close to wrapping it up. So just some frequently asked questions. What's my turnaround time? Turnaround time is next day, 24 hours, pretty standard. It's just me, so sometimes be patient, sometimes up to 6 p.m., but usually I try to get it done in the morning. And then payment, so when files are delivered to you, it's gonna be delivered in an email, and then it'll ask you for a payment. So it's not gonna ask you to pay before. System was on pay on delivery. So service areas, I cover an hour from here. So everything in the dark red, do for free, a little bit outside of that. I usually say no, because opportunity is an opportunity. So another one is, where do I go for booking? There's 7 different ways you can go about it. Business cards, you can text me, Facebook Messenger, Google, I'm trying to get that done this month. And then on Facebook, you're gonna see the links in 3 different areas. So one is in my link in bio, my most pinned post, my most recent post. And then the business hours. So most companies are open between Monday and Friday. I'm gonna be open Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 6. And Saturday books up really quick, so definitely, at least I have that availability for you guys. Okay, so getting ready to wrap it up. Again, why you should use Running Photography or eventually use me is the attention to detail and always want to over deliver. Eventually, I'm going to be, well, not eventually, but I'm going to add a little gift in there, whether it's a floor plan, drone shots, or the layout, and then prioritizing relationships. And then again, thank you everybody for it. And I have some Spanish food. There's chicken, meatballs, yellow rice, and plantains. There's gonna be a card over there. There's a little small gift inside for everybody. So you can pick one of those up and then let's chat afterwards. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Let's get some shout outs, Greg, if you ever used them.
You know what, Ryan,
Yes,
can I say something, please?
absolutely.
No.
Understand if you leave, you don't win.
I'm 68 years old. I've done a lot in my life, service to college, to chef, so on and so forth. To see this kind of enthusiasm coupled with his quality of work, it sent shivers down my spine, and I thank you for the hope of the youth and for the enthusiasm. I mean, I think about this and I go, wow,
It's impressive.
thank you,
Very
man.
proud of it.
Thank you.
Ashley, you had something?
Yeah, I agree. So like, obviously, like you can hire anybody to come take photos and like 9 times out of 10, they'll do a good job. But like my clients were really, really nervous about like bringing a stranger into their home. Like they were worried about like being judged and whatever. They just absolutely loved you. You made them feel so comfortable. They would hire you again and again, and so would I. And my listing was also right in that like light yellow area or that light red area where he really had to travel and hit a lot of traffic, and you know, so I really greatly appreciate you, and so did my clients.
I've used them a couple times. I know Jeff has, like, I'm working this afternoon, I got him working tomorrow, so. I recommend it.
Just keeping me busy, I like it.
And to Reed's point, I mean, when did you start this? January?
At the end of December, and it's kind of crazy. It started with my phone.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a camera, any gear, I didn't know how to take photos, and
I mean, he took off like so quickly, and now I think you're looking at probably scaling.
hire. I just started because I didn't want to be broke, to be honest with you. All of a sudden now it's a full-time job and looking to eventually hire somebody to help me out with the back end.
And I mean, I had the privilege of knowing you for about 2 years now and watch you kind of get into real estate, kind of figure out where your passion was, jumping back and forth, and now I can see that you truly found it because it just took off. And then those last few slides were the most important, I thought, was the customer service, the care that he puts into it. And then altering your schedule to a Tuesday to Saturday. I don't know that a lot of them do Saturdays, and if they do, they charge you more for it, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of his work days, that's one of his weekdays, and that's awesome. Great again.
When you as an individual exude this kind of confidence, the sky's the limit, my man.
We appreciate you and appreciate the food that you brought, so, people, so appreciate it. All right, we're gonna do giveaways. To everybody that was able to show up today. I don't know what I did. Where is the? I'm having trouble with Zoom today. I guess. Oh, there it is. All right, have a good day, everyone.